It's amazing they got paid so much money for that.
25 million and 40 million?
I think 20 and 40. Yeah, I think that's what I'd heard. You know, which I'm happy Mike got the money, and I'm happy that he didn't get hurt. That was my fear, that it was going to be a real...
Joe Rogan recently called out Mike Tyson after Tyson declined a rematch with Jake Paul. It's honestly surprising, considering Tyson was once known for his knockout punches that could send grown men flying. Now he refuses to face Jake Paul, a YouTuber who only recently started calling himself a fighter. It's almost unbelievable.
Yeah, he's been making good money. You know, he's come back, like I said, in his life. He's done a good job.
According to Rogan, Tyson's choice to back out of the rematch is a red flag as big as a Vegas billboard. If the fight wasn't scripted, why not give another go? What's the issue, Mike? Too much arthritis this time, or maybe the scriptwriters just didn't have time to create a sequel?
Oh, there's a lot of... Portnoy went out and said that it was the greatest con job of all time, I mean, if you didn't think that that's the way to fight, I don't know what people expected. You know, Mike's almost 60.
If you ask me, it's tough to watch legends fall short of their legacy, choosing comfort over confrontation. What hurts the most, though, is the message it sends, that even the strongest can one day run from a fight. For fans who have admired Tyson for decades, it feels like a betrayal, not just of the sport, but of the belief that true greatness never backs down.
Understand, it was a big nostalgia hit. It got our attention. It was a big financial promotion for everybody, and it actually worked. Now, the fight was absolutely terrible, and it feels like Paul was holding back his punches, and at times Mike Tyson was holding...
The first fight was filled with red flags. Tyson, the man known for his ferocity and knockouts, appeared hesitant. His punches, which once sent opponents straight to dreamland, suddenly lacked power. Watching him fight Jake Paul felt like seeing a lion play with its food, only to suddenly decide to go vegan. You're telling me Mike Tyson forgot how to throw a real punch? Rogan quipped, his sarcasm evident. Sure, and Jake Paul is the greatest boxer of all time.
Me too.
And he was a, larger-than-life figure in my childhood.
Truly,
And
me
when I
too.
was a kid, when he was the champ, it was like, people don't understand what a champ he was. Like, he wasn't just the heavyweight champ of the world, he was an executioner.
It wasn't just Tyson's punches that seemed off. His footwork was sluggish, almost like he was dancing on thin ice. And let's not forget Jake Paul. Somehow, the YouTuber managed to take Tyson's punches without flinching. This is a guy who struggled against retired athletes and wrestlers, yet somehow held his own against one of the most feared boxers in history. Either Jake Paul is made of steel, or Tyson was pulling his punches harder than a parent sparring with their toddler, Rogan joked.
Bit of a shit show, but, you know, what did you expect? Seriously, when you stayed home and you turned on Netflix that night, we were like, holy, I'm about to see the greatest live sporting event of all.
Boxing analysts didn't hold back either. One expert noted that Tyson's performance seemed unusually tame, pointing out that his punches looked like they were thrown with only half the power we know he's capable of. If that wasn't intentional, I'd be shocked, they said. Another trainer questioned how a fighter at Tyson's level could suddenly forget their instincts, claiming what we saw wasn't Mike Tyson the fighter, but Mike Tyson the actor. Now, Tyson's refusal to rematch Jake Paul has only added fuel to the fire. Rogan, always quick to call out the obvious, blasted Tyson's excuses, claiming that now he's too retired, too old, or too busy. Funny. None of those reasons stopped him from signing up for the first fight. The sarcasm was sharp, but the point was clear. Tyson's refusal doesn't make sense unless there's something being hidden. Dana White, a purist of combat sports, would take a similarly critical view, though with more focus on how this impacts boxing's credibility. White has long criticized Jake Paul's carefully curated fight history, and would likely argue that this match was more about entertainment than competition. If there's nothing to hide, White might ask, why not do a rematch? For him, Tyson's refusal is a red flag, Another example of how celebrity boxing is eroding the authenticity of combat sports.
X has spoken. The fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X, and the script was actually leaked on X.
What's even more suspicious is how this situation fits perfectly into Jake Paul's brand. Let's be honest, Jake Paul isn't in boxing for the sport. He's in it for the spectacle, the headlines, and the pay-per-view buys. Rogan couldn't help but laugh at how Tyson's refusal plays right into Jake's narrative. "Jake's probably loving this," Joe said. "Now he gets to play the victim. Oh no, Mike Tyson won't fight me again. Guess I'm too much for the heavyweight champ. It's comedy gold." Jake has built his career on moments like this, cherry-picking opponents like he's picking fruit from a market, just ripe enough to make him look good, but soft enough to avoid any real challenge. Rogan laid into him, saying, "This guy's entire career is built on fighting people who are either retired, smaller, or completely out of their element. And now he's got a heavyweight legend dodging a rematch. Jake couldn't have written a better script himself."
Went viral. Let's see how accurate it was. Opening bell rings, Tyson is showing flashes of his old form, which actually